I've already said I was on record for attempting to whistleblow against really quite severe abuse, including death, against people with learning disabilities, and it got absolutely nowhere. I've just watched Silenced as Levant talking to Tommy Robinson. Stephen Yaxley Lennon, for all you lefty clowns out there, yeah, okay. Well, stop being clowns for a minute and actually listen. You won't, you'll have already clicked off. But for the one or two that actually might, this affects everyone. The BBC actually tried to get the case stopped because Ezra Levant was actually tweeting live, and he's allowed to do that. That wasn't the reason that they tried to get it stopped. The reason they tried to get it stopped was because the BBC wanted to report the lies, because that's all the BBC do. They just report lies. You get their version, you do not get the truth. And this is exactly the same reason that they wouldn't allow cameras in the court with Trump. I mean, let's face it, the left detests Trump because they're loonies. But surely they would like to see Trump supposedly saying a load of BS and proving them to be right if he was going to do that in court. No. It would have actually shown that Trump was prevented from actually giving evidence. Now, the left have all gone, no, he didn't do that at all. Yes, he did. That's exactly what the judge did. You don't need a degree. You don't need to be highly qualified to understand injustice. It happens everywhere, and it happens all the time. And most people can actually see it. They can witness it with their eyes. I would say the O.J. Simpson trial was a bit of a, but there's plenty of people saying, well, yeah, but we did it because, we were the underdogs and it was black versus white. It wasn't. It was made into that by the media. And it was nothing to do with black versus white. It was to do with right versus wrong. And this is where we are at now. Right versus wrong. And there's too much wrong about. And the left are just about to get in this country. And if you thought it was bad under the Conservatives, it is going to get horrific under Labour. And I really mean that. Wake up. Because what Labour are going to do to this country, and they're going to get in because people are cheesed off with the Conservatives, and rightly so, I am as well. And I certainly wouldn't vote for them. I didn't vote in one of the elections. I was like, no, forget it. It's a waste of time. And the turnout actually in the entire country was really low. And to me, if you don't get a certain amount of votes, nobody should be allowed in. And that might sound ludicrous, but honestly, you should then have a coalition of everybody, all the political parties in the country, to try and run the country. Because no one party got voted in. And there's a bit of that now where I'm thinking, why do we need the House of Lords? You don't need the House of Lords. What you need is, if you've only got the two parties, then you should have a consensus between the two parties. That should get your laws through. Because it'll never happen. Because you've got outside agencies that have too much influence. And if you think they haven't got any influence, you haven't got a clue what's going on. Britain is not run by the people of Britain.